Here we are, 2021. We've made it. We passed 2020 with more or less success, and I'm looking in the wrong spot because I haven't made any podcasts for a long time. I've kind of taken a break, so you might consider this like the second season of my podcast, I guess. And yeah, I've just taken the time to reflect upon what kind of content I really wanted to produce. I've questioned myself, questioned my content, and I think that taking this break did me good. Like, it really did me good. And yeah, I'm coming back. It's end of January now, so I wanted to focus this episode on like a kind of review of 2020. I think it was a very growing year for me. Lots of stuff happened, events and experiences that just, I would say, even completely changed me. Just brought me so many new insights, so many just gave me so much reflection upon my life and where I was at. And I just felt like sharing this with whoever is watching this, whoever might need to hear about this, to kind of feel like they're not alone in their fights, they're not alone with their challenges. We all have stuff going on, challenges, issues. But I think that we find our strength in just overcoming all the fears, overcoming all the doubts, and doing things although we are scared. And definitely in 2020 that happened. I had some fears and I overcame them. And yeah, so let's start. What happened in 2020? So beginning of 2020, I guess like a quite big change for me was that with my boyfriend Mark, we moved into a new apartment that's now like double the space that we used to have in the previous apartment, and still paying the same rent. So it was just such a great deal, and we have like one more room that we now use, where I'm actually making the podcast, where we have a little, what we call the cozy corner, where we have now a TV that we only use for like really good quality Netflix time when we want to indulge in watching a movie. We just really enjoy. I will maybe show this like in a video on my channel. And basically we have like a fat boy. It's quite pejorative term for this, but it's like basically a kind of mattress, that like a huge pillow that you have lying on the ground. You can just really like put it into different shapes to make it look like a seat, or just a kind of mattress that's just lying on the ground. And I have like really like many big sheets on it, like bed sheets, like a kind of duvet thing, and then a last like fleece sheet on top that's like really fluffy and cozy, and some like smaller pillows on it. And we call this space the cloud because it's like just so fluffy and so cozy. It's white as well, like, yeah, just it brings just so much light and relaxation in this room, and I just love what we made out of it. So this was also a big change this year, like how we completely just changed the setting in this room. And also that was thanks to just finding stuff on the street, finding stuff that people were just throwing away, to be smashed by a huge machine and to be just like trashed. And so like where I'm sitting right now, this armchair, that's one of the stuff that we just randomly found on the streets. And I'm so grateful for this because it just makes this room different. And we have the room like divided into two spaces. So one that's like more relaxation, Netflix corner, podcasts, filming, and one that's like just the desk. It's like a lifting desk, I guess. You can like put it up and down. And yeah, over there it's like the working corner. But yeah, this apartment brings us so much joy ever since we moved into it. I really enjoy what we made out of this place. It's really light and quite minimalistic. And we have also a beautiful bedroom, which I just enjoy so much. And this was also the year of like embracing, welcoming plants into my life, because I just fell deeply in love with plants. I always found plants beautiful, but I never really had like the connection that I have now. So yeah, there are plants like all around in this apartment. It's not like that much, but maybe I have like, I think 20 of them. Yeah, 20, that must be it. And yeah, they also bring like a different touch in the apartment. And that really was missing, this greenery in the last apartment. That was really missing. Yeah, so we moved in 2020 in February, and that was for me like a fresh new start. At that point I was still unemployed, so if you don't know, like I used to work in the kind of translation agency for 1 year in Düsseldorf, and I realized like this 9 to 5 job, that just wasn't it for me. I just had to do something on my own. I wanted to be more free and independent in my way of working. So what happened in 2020, and that was where the fear came in, and I was thinking about doing this for months and I just couldn't do it. It took me such a long time, and I think it took me until the point that my boyfriend first became a freelancer. He quit his job like I did, and then he just like within a month or something he became a freelancer. He just did it, and I think like that inspired me. That was like the kick that I needed in the butt, so that I would just do it, because I knew at some point I would have to do it in my life. I wouldn't be, except like if I knew I was working in a space that really would be matching my values, something related to veganism, sustainability, minimalism. If I was doing something with a great team in a like ethical company, I think I could have handled it. But at that moment, like this wasn't showing up. I tried to find companies that were matching my values, but it was quite hard. But now you can see there are such companies like popping up everywhere, and just always more of them. But at that point, that just wasn't available for me. So I thought I just have to do it. And I just started being a freelancer. And I had so many fears that came with this. The fear of, you know, just not being enough, not having the skills, the capacities, that the capabilities that it takes to work as a freelancer. I just thought there would be just so many obstacles and so much like you know, administration stuff, like just paper stuff to fill, and I just made myself such a mountain of those fears that it was like almost impossible for me to just take the step and do it. So when my boyfriend did it, I was just like, okay, now I'm just gonna jump with him and just do it. And just looking back right now, for me, that has been one of the most amazing decisions of my life, one of the most freeing decisions of my life. And it's just like, I feel like being a freelancer, it's not like you just have to like fit in a box, just do one activity, one thing that you like, and that's it. You can actually do a plural, like do just multiple activities as a freelancer. Like you could be selling your pieces of art, you could be giving classes like language classes or other kind of classes, you could be giving tutoring, which is what I'm doing, that's part of what I do. You could be I don't know, in a podcast team, like everything that has to do with kind of journalism, or even like podcast thing, doing interviews, that fits into this category, at least in Germany. So right now what I'm doing is I'm giving language classes, French and English. Then I am also a podcast host in a project, so I get it's not like a regular activity though, so I get to do it from time to time, and I just get to interview some companies or people with like really interesting jobs. And the purpose of this is to just reassure students in Germany, or just young people who are coming out, like they're just ready with high school and they don't really know what should they do, like should they go to university, should they just start doing a job. They have like all these questions, and I remember being in that age, I was also wondering what should I do, and I wish there had been like some kind of project like this one that would have helped me to figure out what I wanted to do, what path should I take or not take. And yeah, that's what this podcast does. It's in German, so if you're interested, I will just link the project in the show notes or in the description box on YouTube. So that's one of the stuff I'm doing. I'm also taking care of children, just watching over them in a school. They're like, I guess, between 11 and 12. And I get to play with them, just watch over them, help them with their homework if they have any questions. Yeah, for a couple of hours per week. And that's also something that I really like doing. And for now, that's basically everything I'm doing. And yeah, so if you have any question about like being a freelancer, or you've thought about it but you're not really sure, and you just need like a kind of boost or someone to answer your questions, even though like I might not be able to answer all of your questions, please just don't hesitate to contact me. I know that there are many people out there like me who just don't feel like they fit in this box of a 9-to-5 job. And I think that the only most beautiful thing that you deserve is to give yourself what you deserve, to give yourself what you really want to be doing in your life. And don't stay stuck. Don't make yourself a prisoner of your job. Just follow what your heart really wants. So also what happened this year, was bodybuilding. That was a big part of 2020. Then came the several lockdowns. And so with the first one, basically, I'm a person, I need like really separate environments for each purpose. So if I want to do bodybuilding, I have to have the environment of working out. I have to have a gym with all the devices, with all the weights, and just that, atmosphere with the music, seeing people working out, having the specific kind of clothing, and I just have to be in that bubble. So it's been really hard for me to just stick to bodybuilding at home. Although now we do have an equipment, we have like a home gym, but it's just really hard for me to keep with it. So to keep up with it. So last year, through the several lockdowns, I just wasn't able to keep up with it. So basically, I lost like all the muscle that I had built between end of 2019 and beginning of 2020, and it was really frustrating. But then I kind of like came at peace with it, like came to term with it, because I am more like a go with the flow person, if you want. Like I'm really accepting, and it's quite easy for me to let go of things. When it comes to like sport, I really, it's a passion. When it comes to working out at the gym, I truly enjoy it. It just really fueled me in 2020 and 2019. But then I just, accepted that the situation being the different lockdowns, I couldn't really have the standards that I needed to be able to keep mentally like to just keep up with working out from home. So I started to get more into yoga and like get back to it, because I had forgotten it a little bit. I was also doing more yoga in 2019. Then came bodybuilding, and now it was like a return to yoga and like doing little workouts at home when I feel motivated. But yeah, that was what happened with bodybuilding. And now I'm just, of course, I'm happy that we have this possibility of training at home, and it feels great to be using all these devices again, like the few that we have at home. But I'm so looking forward to gyms opening again, and I hope they will open again. A major event that took place in 2020 was my ayahuasca experience. If you don't know what is ayahuasca, it's basically a sacred plant medicine that comes from the Amazon, and it's been used for thousands and thousands of years in different indigenous people. And I lived that experience with a really dear friend of mine who's called Vivian, and I learned about it thanks to her. You can listen to, I will link down also the episode where we talk about this. I think I didn't make an episode just by myself, but I talked about it with her. That was a major experience that just brought so many teachings, so many lessons in my life. I experienced the most beautiful things that I ever had experienced in my life, which was just feeling like I was being like Mother Ayahuasca, which is the plant medicine. I felt like she used me as a vessel for animals to speak through me. All the farm animals who are exploited, abused, and killed on the planet, well, some of them spoke through me, and that was the fishes, the cows, the hens, and the sows. And it was a really heavy experience. That was a lot of pain to handle, but at the same time, for me, it was just such a relief to know that they truly were speaking through me, and they could just voice their suffering through me during that experience. And that people who were there during the ceremony, that people could also get that experience, that they could live it with me. That was just for me just such a high importance. I couldn't be more thankful for this experience. And yeah, if you are interested, I really encourage you to do your own research. And if you wish to do that kind of experience, I really encourage you to find the proper setting, the proper people to do it with. Yeah, and if you have any questions, please just reach out to me. I would be more than happy to answer your questions. Another, yeah, something that happened like quite often, I guess, in 2020, well, at least several times, is that I had to let go of several relationships, several friends that were really dear to my life, to my heart. Yeah, just because of certain circumstances, people who were at a different point on their path, a different point than where I was. And yeah, through stuff that happened in 2020 or before, some people just, I wasn't on the same frequency as those dear friends of mine, and I just had to let go of these relationships because they were no longer serving me or my purpose or who I really was. And it's not like, like saying this like, oh, they don't deserve me, it's just like when you make your experiences and you grow through those experiences in life, sometimes you just realize that your vibration is not on the same level of someone else's vibration anymore. And as hard as it might be, you truly, like deeply inside of you, you know that you have to let go of those relationships because they might be hurting you more than they are helping you. And it's one of the most difficult choices that you have to make sometimes in your life. But you have to know that that's for the best, that's for your purpose, that's to serve you. And sometimes to just let go of these relationships, that might be the biggest gift that you can make yourself. So don't be afraid of doing it. Feel the emotions that you have to feel when the time comes to just let go of these relationships. Feel the fear, feel the sadness, feel the frustration, feel the anger. Let these emotions just speak through you, express themselves. And by feeling them, you will be able to let go of them like so much easier, like so much more easily. And yeah, that's one of the tips I could just give you. And that's something I did last year. And now looking back, I'm so happy that I did this, because I also, by doing this, you welcome new opportunities and new people in your life who are going to be here for a new purpose, for you to learn something new, for you to just get even closer to who you really are. And it's just such a blessing. It's so beautiful, and we should all just learn to accept this as a gift. And I guess the last thing, so like for me, the things that I have expressed in this episode, there were like turning points for me, things that I either needed to do or things that I needed to accept. And one thing that I really needed to do, that had been on my mind for several years already, was to change the bank I was at, where my bank account is. So maybe some of you might know some of you might not know that, but not all banks are ethical. Not all banks are really representing your values and what you wish for the future. So some banks are really, really not ethical. They are financing stuff like nuclear energy and coal and I don't know, like farming animals, abusing animals, and they might be financing just like really bad stuff that you don't align with. So, and you might know, of course, that when your money is on a bank account, banks do use your money and they do finance stuff with your money, and it's always a flow of money, and the money you place in a bank account is always being used somehow. Of course, it stays on your bank account, but it's always being used. And I just didn't want, for several years, I was thinking about it. I have to find a way to just get a bank that aligns more with my values and that does actually something positive and good for this planet, instead of just ruining this planet and like using its resources to the fullest and not being considerate of people's future. So I found this bank which is called, so this one, it's for my how's it called, current account, or no compte courant, this is in French. It's for my, I don't know the term anymore. It's like the bank account basically that you use for your regular expenditure, for like everything that you buy on a daily basis, on a regular basis, or where you have like, you just pay your rent, pay your bills and everything with that bank account. So that's not the one where you save money, but it's just like the regular one. So this one, I found the bank Tomorrow. I think that's really a great name for it. And it's a more sustainable, more ethical bank that just aligns more with my values. So what they do, like a major part of their work, is that when you basically when you make money transfers, there are trees that are being planted in the Amazon rainforest, but also in other forests, and there's like like carbon footprint that's being saved, and like it's just, for me, like it was just the right decision to make. And I don't know why it took me so long, but my boyfriend was also thinking about it, and then he found those two banks, and I'm so happy he did. So the Tomorrow Bank, if you wish to take a look at it, if you wish to maybe create an account there, I have a code like that I will just link in the description box or the show notes. And basically what that does is, when you create your account, at the creation of your account, you will be enabling 100 trees to be planted in the rainforest, in the Amazon rainforest, and I will as well. So it's just a win-win situation. Just take your time and look at this bank and what they do. And if that resonates with you, just go to the link and just go ahead. The other bank where I have an account to save money is a German bank as well. I think they're both German. And the other one is called Umweltbank, which means environment bank in German. And yeah, I'm also so much happier to have my money on this bank account by a bank that's like not harming like our inhabitants on this planet and the environment like other banks do. And yeah, that's like one thing for me that changed in 2020, and for me it was a great step, because it just felt like such a relief to be knowing that now my money is like lying somewhere that just aligns more with who I am and what I want for the future to look like on this planet. So I guess that would be it for this episode. I hope that somehow this brought some value to you, I guess I will make like a separate episode where I would like focus on what's for 2021, what's coming, what are some of my, not goals, but like what are some of my intentions for this year. What would I like to bring to reality? What are things that, you know, I've just been thinking about making them come to reality for years and I haven't. But what if this year was the year that this is going to happen? And I definitely feel that 2021 is a year of expansion. I feel like it's a year where great decisions are going to be made, whether it's in the world or in my personal life. I just can feel it, and I feel that it's a year where we have to just overcome the fear, overcome the panic that's been instilled in the media, instilled in our life. The panic shouldn't rule us, it shouldn't rule our lives, and we just have to overcome that fear to just make some of the most beautiful gifts come to reality. And I trust that we will be able to make that happen. I hope this brought some value to you. Don't hesitate to contact me if you want to exchange a few words with me on your thoughts. Yeah, I would love to do that, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.